Good morning and welcome to this morning yoga flow, or whenever it is in the day that you desire a wake up, pick me up. We're going to start standing and establishing where we are with our feet planted firmly on the floor, our pelvis like a basin of water, gently balanced, connecting with your core, maybe using your hands to touch and feel a point approximately an inch below your belly button, and imagine the August glow of the sun powering up just behind there, wherever it feels centered and connected in your body. And so feel a sense of gravity, gently layering your center towards that point. And soften your knees, start to feel maybe a gentle sway, movement leading with that core point, using it as an anchor, and the rest of the body echoes that movement. The arms and shoulders freeing themselves of tension, let them dangle and become a passive echo of movement, building up the freedom and using that as a momentum to maybe twist and wiggle your body in a way that feels good to you, waking everything up, finding freedom and movement as we wake ourselves up this morning. Easing and give it a shake if you need to as well. Shaking off the hands is also a nice way of just really ridding yourself and starting to move that energy through the body a little bit more, shaking it all out and re-establishing with where you are at. We're going to take an inhale, lifting the arms all the way up to the sky, and on the exhale, release the arms back down to your side. Let's take that again all the way up, connecting breath with movement and releasing all the way back down. This time we're going to take the arms all the way up, and on the exhale we're going to take a gentle twist around to the right, taking the right arm back, left arm forwards. On the inhale, lift them back up, and we're going to take that twist to the other side, round to the left arm back, right arm forwards, and lifting it all the way up. Let's repeat that again, really connecting with the inhalation on the up and the exhalation on the down as you open and soften into those little twists, and really use your knees to soften into as well, taking this at your own pace, finding your own rhythm. This time we're going to continue that circle around and twist to the other side as we come up again. So exhaling round, twisting onto the right, taking that round to the left as you inhale, bringing your arms up, opening to the right, twisting at the bottom, round to your left as you bring arms up. One more time, really feeling the weight of the arms and using that as momentum. Let's take that the other way. So opening on the exhale round to the left, twisting at the bottom to bring it up on the right on the inhale. Finding your own rhythm with this. Moving that morning energy around the body. And we're going to finish that off by just gently opening your arms on the exhale, clasping your hands behind your back and gently pulling them back a little bit to open the heart space forwards, maybe to the sun, to the sky, or just imagining it there maybe. And release the hands down. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, hinge yourself forward, taking your thighs, your knees, your shins, your feet, or even the floor if you can get there. On the next inhale, lifting up halfway, feeling length through the spine. Exhale, left knee down to a low lunge. Open your arms up. And again, chest, opening sternum, heart, throat, feeling that opening. We're going to bring the hands back down on the exhale. Take your knees together, join them so you're in a knelt position. We're going to open up the heart space again, either by taking the heels of your hands behind your hips, or if it feels good, reaching down to touch the ground and opening your throat, your collarbone, your shoulders releasing and opening, and feeling that warm glow across the front of your chest, releasing that back. Bringing your left foot between your hands, taking that into a low lunge, opening your arms up and back to release that chest again. Taking a moment to find a balance in this position before taking your hands back down to the ground. Join your right foot to your left And let's just hang out here for a minute. Knees soft so that your tummy can rest against your thigh. So bend your knees as much as you need to here to get that connection, belly to thighs. You can keep your hands on the floor. If it feels good, you can hold on to your elbows and hang here like a rag doll for a moment. And then we're going to gently roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, stacking on top of each other one by one. Back to our standing mountain pose. On the next inhale, lift your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hinge forward, belly to thighs. Inhale, lifting your gaze halfway. Exhale, stepping your left foot back, this time to a warrior one. Both hips facing forward, shoulders relaxed away from the ears, torso strong. The next exhale, opening and twisting that round to your right. Inhale, lifting the arms back up to the center. Exhale, taking your arms back down to the ground into a tabletop position. Now you can stay in that tabletop position or take your knees back slightly into a half plank, or as I am doing here, into a full plank. Just for a moment before stepping your left foot back through and reaching up into your warrior one again. Feeling strong in the legs, and then on the exhale, opening up to the left, over that left thigh. Nice little twist. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, hands back down to the earth and back down into your tabletop position. So again, either a half plank or a full plank momentarily. Maybe you have a helper like I have here. And then re-establishing a tabletop. In a moment, we're going to go up into down dog. So we're going to tuck our toes and lift our tailbone up to the sky. Establishing, first of all, a nice long line from the hands up to the tailbone. You can soften your knees as much as you need to here. Pulling up the inner thighs, feeling the shoulder blades, drawing up towards that tailbone. Space between the shoulders and ears. On the next exhale, soften your knees and walk your feet back towards your hands and rolling up slowly. Arms up to the sky as you inhale and exhale, release them all the way down. On the next inhale, we're going to scoop our arms up and forwards into a chair pose. So sinking our tailbone down towards the heels of our feet. Strong in the legs. Stable in the front and sides of that torso. Shoulders relaxed away from the ears. And breathe through it before releasing back down into standing mountain pose. We're going to bear the weight slightly onto our left foot as we step back on the right foot into warrior two. This time the hips are open to the side as well as the chest. Arms are strong as we gaze down that front arm. On the next inhalation, we're going to take it up to reverse warrior, lengthening through that left side as we reach our arm up. And then the next exhale, taking that left forearm onto the thigh, scooping the right arm over into a lovely wide side angle stretch. Length from that right finger all the way down to the right heel, all the way through that side of body. And the next exhale, take your gaze downwards. Inhale, bring yourself back up to warrior two. Before closing it back up to our mountain pose again. Let's take that all on the other side. So pour weight into the right foot this time so that we have space to take the left foot back into your warrior two. Opening up those hips, those shoulders. On the next inhalation, we're going to reach that right arm up and back into our reverse warrior. Length through that right side of the body, all the way from the middle finger all the way to that hip, your right hip. Breathing and softening. Exhale, taking your forearm onto your thigh, reaching your left arm up and over into your side stretch. Nice and strong in the legs. Keep breathing. Keep that energy flowing through the body. The next exhale, you're going to take your gaze down to the ground before inhaling and rebounding that body back up to your warrior two before stepping it back to your standing mountain pose. Take a moment here. We're going to test our balance a little bit with the tree pose. So when you're ready, just bear your weight onto your left leg and we're going to release that right foot slowly. It may remain with contact on the floor. Maybe you can lift that toe off the ground a little bit. Maybe you can take that foot all the way up your leg, maybe to your shin, your knee, or your thigh, where I have it here. Use your hands in a prayer position to help you find a center. Fix your gaze on one spot right in front of you on the ground. That can really help. And breathe through it. And release back down. Let's take that the other side. So bear your weight now onto your right leg. Releasing your left leg slowly. Again, you may have contact with the floor still with your left toe. You may take it up to your ankle, your shin, your knee, or your thigh like I'm doing here. Hands in prayer. They could also help you to have them on your hips or out to the side even. Whatever helps you find that balance point. And remember to fix that gaze. And I'm a bit distracted here because my daughter's about to tip my phone. There you go. Gives me enough time to say bring your leg back down. And we're going to step it out a bit wider. So to the inhale, release your gaze up. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Softening the knees so that you can get your tummy into contact with your thighs. So knees as bent as you need them to be comfortable. It's more of a hinge. The focus is on the hinge from the hips. And you can give yourself a moment to dangle here. You can support yourself by putting your hands onto the ground. Or maybe a block underneath would be helpful. Neck relaxing. Before softening your knees even further down and rolling yourself back up to a standing position. Give your hips a bit of a wiggle here if you need to, like I did. Now this next pose is entirely optional. I'm going to be going into a squat, a frog pose, taking my hands forwards and my hips down to the ground. But if you're not feeling it this morning, then a child's pose would be a really nice place to go right now. If you have gone into frog pose, it can be helpful to put a block or a cushion underneath where your hips are. To place your hands in prayer position and use your upper arms rested on your inner thighs. But wherever you are, we're going to slowly come out of that and come into a momentary knelt position. Just to see where the breath is. See if it feels any different to when you first started. Just a little moment to reconnect before taking ourselves into a seated position. We're going to take our legs out in front of us into Dandasana. Torso long and strong upwards. If you want to put a pillow under your hips at this stage, it's good. Toes pointed up, shoulders down, and gaze just beyond your toes. On the next inhalation, we're going to reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, take them forwards and hinge your body slightly forwards. Now, you don't need to move very far. Maybe your hands rest on your thighs, on your knees, on your shins. Maybe they reach your ankles, or they may be able to reach your toes. The main focus is on the hinging of the hips and keeping that back straight. So you don't need to go any further than your body is called to do so. And breathing nice long breaths wherever you are, easing into this new space, letting your body feel safe in these gentle stretches as it eases into the morning. Easing our body and mind, preparing it for any little occurrences that happen. That's my daughter just photobombing me here, video bombing me. Next, we're going to bring our left knee up, plant our left foot on the floor. The outside of the left foot is in line with the left hip. Inhale, bring the right arm up. Exhale, take your hand onto the opposite knee and look over your left shoulder. Just a little twist. It might feel good to hook your right elbow over your left knee. On every inhale, we're going to lengthen up through the spine, and every exhale, soften into that twist a little bit more. Keep breathing. Keep that flow of breath. And let's take that onto the other side. So this time, right knee up, right foot planted on the floor. Inhale, lift the left arm up. Exhale, take the left hand onto the right knee and look over your right shoulder into a little twist. And again, if it feels good to do so, you can hook your left elbow over your right knee. Inhale, lengthen up through the spine. Exhale, soften a little bit more into that twist and keep breathing. Softening. And bring it back round. And again, you can give your knees a little bit of a hug while you're here, just to re-establish, reset that spine, and reconnect with yourself. We're going to check in with where our core is at. So plant your feet back down onto the ground. Take hold of your knees and take your body back slightly. Now you can keep your hands on your knees, or you can present them forwards like I have done here. It's just about feeling that little activation. So you don't have to take your body back that far. You can also play around with taking one foot off the ground in turn. See if that feels any different. Maybe it feels stable enough to take 2 feet off the ground. So there is no specific requirement for this. It's just about you finding your own core in a little boat pose, this is called. So taking it and holding it as long as you want before releasing it back down. And relaxing over your legs, over your thighs. And we're going to come down to a supine position on your back, lying down. And we're going to come into a butterfly position. So if you want to get a couple of cushions and blocks here, you can pause the video and get them, because it can be quite nice to place them under your knees. Your feet are going to be, the soles of your feet are going to be towards each other as gravity lets your knees unfold outwards, and that's where you place your blocks or your cushions underneath your knees, so that it is more of a restorative feeling. Checking in with any sensations that might be arising within the body, any tension that may still be held, let that soften and release away. And you can use your hands to gently bring your knees back up to the center. Arms out to the side, let your knees fall to the left. And you can swing your right leg over the top into this twist, if that feels good. Just for a moment, then bring it back up to center. Sweep your other leg over the top. It's good for booting a child out the way that may be taking a nap next to you. Looking over the opposite way to your leg. Sweeping it back over to center. Giving your knees a hug if that feels good. And then whenever you're ready, you can release your legs back down onto the ground so that you're lying flat on your back, feet slightly apart, hands next to your body, palms facing upwards. And this is your time to rest into the sensations of the body. Reconnect with your breath. Check in and see if it feels any different to how it felt at the beginning of this morning's practice. This is your moment for stillness. So you can stay here as long as your heart desires today. But if you do need to go about the world, then gently and tenderly start to reconnect with the breath and with your body. Maybe wiggling your toes and fingers, gently rolling to one side. Just re-establishing where you are before coming back to a seated position. I will say thank you and goodbye for today's practice. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, whatever you have planned, and hopefully see you soon.